let's talk about toxic positivity. While we're at it, let's talk about toxic negativity. And while we're at it, let's talk about optimism and pessimism. Toxic positivity has been in the news a lot with regard to video game development because the cause of some recent high-profile failures has been toxic positivity. Let's define toxic positivity in terms of what these articles and attributions are referring to. In this case, toxic positivity means that the leadership of the project seemed unwilling to hear or entertain any criticism of what was going on the project. They were blind to problems, and they were unwilling to listen to feedback on things that needed to be changed or improved upon the project. In some cases, this went even further, and they were actively hostile to people who expressed concerns or worries about things that were going on the project. And you can see why this is a massive problem, because if your leadership is unwilling to listen to criticism, unwilling to consider problems on the project, then they're unable to address those problems. They're unable to improve the state of the project, improve the state of the game. If they are actively hostile to that feedback, then it has a deadening effect on the project as a whole. If the project becomes unable to critique itself, unable to provide feedback on things on the game that need to improve, need to change, then the first solution ends up being the only solution that's ever entertained. And very often, the first solution is not the best solution. So toxic positivity can definitely be a massive problem. In my experience, it's typically only a significant problem when it is anchored inside the leadership of a project. Because if an individual within the dev team is overly positive, is unable to listen to feedback, openly hostile to feedback, that's usually a relatively easily corrected problem. It's only when this anchors itself inside the leadership and the decision-making of a project that it becomes a problem. But if that happens, it can become a massive problem. Something that I've also seen with people who I would consider toxically positive is often it's like they're a powder keg. They are unwilling to accept criticism. They're unwilling to hear feedback, but it's kind of building up in them. And then when it finally comes boiling out, it can be this tsunami of negativity that comes crashing out of them because they've been so reluctant to hear that feedback, so reluctant to accept that things might need to change, that they've been ignoring so many things. And when it becomes impossible to ignore it any longer, there's so much that's accumulated that they explode, potentially in a very unprofessional way. Now, I think sometimes optimism gets called toxic positivity, mostly by people who feel like their feedback, their criticism, their complaints, their worries weren't adequately addressed by the project, by the leadership that they were working for. Optimism and toxic positivity are not the same thing. Optimism is more leaning your attitude towards things can work out, things have a way to work out. Optimism doesn't automatically mean that you are not willing to listen to criticism. It doesn't mean that you are unable to change the things that you are doing in response to feedback. It's more just a belief or a presentation that things are going to work out if you address the things that are happening. On the flip side, if you are pessimistic, you have the opposite attitude. Things will naturally tend to go wrong. Now, that isn't necessarily a destructive attitude because your response to that pessimism can be to pull up your socks and try to address those worries, those concerns, those criticisms that you have or are experiencing. As pessimism gets darker, more encapsulated in worries, it starts to get locked up in things that ultimately cannot be addressed. The place where I think pessimists start seeing optimists as toxically positive can be in cases when they are worried or criticizing things that ultimately can't be addressed. If the name of your game was mandated by corporate, and you think it's super stupid, ultimately it's not particularly helpful to continuously raise your concerns with the name. If you are worried that the entire global economy is going to collapse at any moment, that is a worry that you can't do anything about. So there's minimal benefit by being wrapped up in that concern. But one of the jobs of leadership is to at least hear the concerns of the people that work for them. If you work for someone optimistic and they seem overly dismissive of your worries, then that can start to bend your perception from they're just optimistic into they are toxically positive. And depending upon those criticisms and that feedback, you may be right. They may be refusing to intake feedback that they should be intaking, feedback that they should be addressing, feedback that they should be concerned about. Maybe that really stupid name mandated by corporate isn't as unchangeable as it first appears. Maybe it can be changed. As we continue into more and more pessimistic territory, we end up in toxic negativity. And this is essentially the opposite of toxic positivity. You are unwilling to hear anything good that is happening. Everything has to be colored with a negative bent. Unlike toxic positivity, which is mostly destructive when it anchors itself in leadership, toxic negativity can be like a cancer on your project. It can cause these pockets of disengagement to start to fester and grow within your project. So it's something to be aware of, something to look out for. Now, a very natural but ineffective way to try to respond to toxic negativity is by pushing more and more into optimism, to push ultimately into toxic positivity. And that's not going to address the issue. In some cases, that toxic negativity is anchored on a single voice. It is a single person that is causing this negativity to start to grow and gather around them. Depending upon that person, depending upon what opportunities you have, the correct answer may be to remove that person from the project. It might be to simply talk to them and let them know what they are doing. Maybe all they need is for someone to legitimately sit down and listen to their concerns and to validate that their concerns aren't completely insane. But you can't allow these pockets to start to form because they can and will ultimately drag your entire project down. In the case of toxic positivity, it often is about not having your worldview shaken. Underlying it is usually some kind of worry. And the way that the person is trying to address that worry is by not allowing anything that validates that worry to enter into their understanding. In the case of toxic negativity, often what it is simply a desire to be right. I've said this before, it's often easier for a pessimist to be right than for an optimist to be right. Because for a pessimist to be right, only some of their concerns need to come true for them to be right. And if none of their concerns came true, then everything was great and no one really remembers that they were being such a negative Nelly. And additionally, in extreme cases, it's possible for a pessimist to make their worries come true on their own. So which is worse, toxic positivity or toxic negativity? I would argue that toxic negativity is much, much worse. However, it's also much, much more obvious and therefore usually addressed much sooner. Toxic positivity looks a lot like cheerleading, looks a lot like optimism, looks a lot like leadership, simply pushing for the project to be great, pushing for the project to do the most it can to strive to be as great of a game as it is possible. So the reason why toxic positivity can become such a problem isn't because it's actually that bad at a microscopic scale. It's that it can go unaddressed for so long, and as it builds into the culture, as you start to push criticism and feedback and critique out of the project, you end up with a project that isn't able to self-evaluate, isn't able ultimately to improve itself to as great of a degree as you may want. So toxic negativity is terrible, but toxic positivity can drag a project down as well because it prevents you from actually taking a step back and thinking about what's actually going on your project. Both of these things are things to be aware of. But in a world where toxic positivity is currently kind of a buzzword, don't mistake simple optimism for toxic positivity. Don't mistake pessimism for toxic negativity. This isn't ultimately a razor's edge. There isn't a tiny middle of acceptable behavior, and all other things are either toxic positivity or toxic negativity. There's actually a pretty wide center where you can be pretty optimistic and still have enough ability to listen to and receive feedback. You can still be relatively pessimistic and still be able to make things better and address the problems and continue to improve what is going on around you. There isn't a single point of acceptable behavior for the people on your project, for the leadership of your project. It's actually a pretty wide band, and lots of different leadership styles can work. It's just, if you become positive to the point of being blind, that's going to be a problem. If you become negative to the point of sucking all the motivation of your project, that's going to be a problem. But lots of things in between those two extremes can work. A special thanks to my members. They provide the resources that this channel needs to keep running. If you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link to that down in the description. We also have a Patreon if you're more comfortable supporting the channel in that way. Both patrons and channel members get access to our Discord, which is a great way to interact with this community to a deeper level. Additionally, the higher levels get early access to videos, so if you were such a member, you would have seen this video a while ago. For me, I've noticed toxic positivity coming up in the postmortems of games more and more. And I'm not 100% convinced that's because it's become a bigger problem, or simply that it has reached the point of being something that people are paying attention to. Maybe it has, maybe in the effort to crush negativity, toxic negativity, we opened the door more to toxic positivity entering into game development, but I'm not convinced that that is the case. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I will see you again soon. Thank you.